The Democratic National Committee, the DNC, it's the mothership for all things Democrat in the U.S. Think of it like mission control for the party. They make sure the gears are turning. They raise money and organize campaigns. They get the word out about the party's platform. They're the strategists and cheerleaders. But their job isn't easy. The political landscape is always changing. The DNC has to adapt. They need to stay ahead of the curve and connect with voters on key issues. The DNC is a big deal. They've been around for almost 2 centuries and played a major role in shaping American politics. They helped put Democrats in office and fight for the values of the Democratic Party. Every good team needs its builders. For the Democrats, those builders were the early leaders who shaped the party's identity. We're talking about folks like Martin Van Buren and William Jennings Bryan. These guys laid the foundation for what the Democratic Party stands for today.
Van Buren, the OG political strategist, knew how to build a movement. He understood the power of the people. He helped create a party that gave a voice to working-class Americans.
Then there was Bryan, the great commoner. He championed the little guy. He took on big business and fought for economic justice. Bryan's fiery speeches and progressive ideals still resonate with Democrats today.
These early leaders may be long gone, but their impact is undeniable. They established the Democratic Party as a force for the working class, for social justice, and for the little guy. They set the stage for generations of Democrats to come. Let's talk about James Michael Curley. This guy was a 4-term mayor of Boston. He even served as governor of Massachusetts. But more importantly, he was a Democratic Party boss. And when I say boss, I mean boss. Curley knew how to work the system. He built a powerful political machine. He delivered votes for Democrats up and down the ballot. Love him or hate him, you got to respect the game. He was also a champion of the underdog. He fought for the poor and the working class. He knew how to connect with everyday people. He understood their struggles, and he used his power to try to make their lives better. Curley's legacy is complicated. He was a product of his time, for sure. But he left an indelible mark on the Democratic Party. He showed them how to organize. He showed them how to win. And he showed them the importance of fighting for the little guy. The 1970s, Watergate. Not exactly a banner decade for the Democrats. The party was in shambles. They needed a fixer. Enter Robert Strauss. This Texan lawyer didn't just walk into the DNC, he sashayed in with a plan. Strauss was all about unity. He knew the Democrats couldn't win if they were busy fighting amongst themselves, so he brought everyone together. He got liberals and conservatives talking. He rebuilt the party from the ground up. And guess what? It worked. Under Strauss's leadership, the Democrats started winning elections again. They took back the White House in 1976 with Jimmy Carter. Not bad for a party that was on life support just a few years earlier. Strauss's legacy is clear. He was a master strategist. He understood that politics is about building coalitions. He knew how to bring people together. And he showed the Democrats that they could overcome even the toughest of times. Section 5, the comeback kid Bill Clinton's remaking of the party. The 1990s, grunge music, dial-up internet, and Bill Clinton.
Now, Clinton was a different kind of Democrat. He was a Southern governor and a policy wonk. He knew how to connect with voters who hadn't voted Democrat in years.
Clinton understood that the political landscape was changing, so he moved the party to the center. He embraced free trade and welfare reform. This new Democrat approach helped Clinton win 2 terms in the White House, and it redefined the Democratic Party for a new generation. Section 6, the organizer-in-chief Howard Dean and the 50-state strategy. Remember Howard Dean, the former governor of Vermont? The guy who made that interesting sound during the 2004 primaries? Yeah, that Howard Dean. Well, he may not have won the presidency, but he did something pretty remarkable. He revolutionized the way the DNC operates. Dean understood that the Democrats had become too reliant on big cities and coastal elites. They were ignoring the rest of the country, so he came up with a radical idea, the 50-state strategy. The idea was simple: invest in every state, build relationships with voters everywhere, don't write anyone off. It was a grassroots approach to politics, and it paid off. Dean's 50-state strategy helped Democrats win back Congress in 2006, and it laid the groundwork for Barack Obama's historic victory in 2008. Dean showed the Democrats that they could compete and win everywhere. Section 7, the first female chair, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, and the 2016 election. Debbie Wasserman Schultz made history as the first woman to lead the DNC in a full capacity. Her tenure, however, was marked by both successes and controversies, particularly surrounding the 2016 presidential election.
Wasserman Schultz was a staunch supporter of Hillary Clinton's candidacy. This led to accusations of bias during the primaries, particularly from supporters of Bernie Sanders. The perception of favoritism fueled intra-party tensions.
Despite these challenges, Wasserman Schultz oversaw a period of significant fundraising for the DNC. She also played a key role in developing the party's platform, which included progressive stances on issues like climate change and income inequality.
However, the 2016 election exposed vulnerabilities in the DNC's strategy and infrastructure. The party's messaging failed to resonate with key demographics, and its data and outreach efforts proved inadequate. Wasserman Schultz resigned as chair shortly after the Democratic National Convention.
Section 8, the Rebuilder, Tom Perez and the Road to Unity. Following the tumultuous 2016 election, the DNC needed a leader who could heal divisions and rebuild trust. Enter Tom Perez, former labor secretary under President Obama. Perez's focus was on unity and grassroots organizing. Perez inherited a party grappling with internal strife and reeling from an unexpected defeat. His first task was to bridge the divide between the Clinton and Sanders wings of the party. He emphasized inclusivity and sought to address concerns about fairness in the primary process. Under Perez's leadership, the DNC implemented reforms to increase transparency and participation in party affairs. He also prioritized investing in state parties and grassroots organizing, recognizing the need to rebuild from the ground up. Perez's efforts helped lay the groundwork for the blue wave in the 2018 midterm elections, which saw Democrats retake control of the House of Representatives. His focus on unity and grassroots engagement aimed to position the party for future victories. Section 9. The Strategist Returns, Jaime Harrison and the Challenges of 2024. Jaime Harrison, the first black chair of the South Carolina Democratic Party, took the helm of the DNC in 2021. Harrison, known for his energetic campaigning and fundraising prowess, faces the daunting task of navigating a deeply polarized political landscape. Harrison's immediate challenge is to maintain Democratic control of Congress in the 2022 midterm elections. He also faces the long-term goal of re-electing President Biden or ensuring a Democratic successor in 2024. Key to Harrison's strategy is mobilizing black voters, young people, and suburban women, demographics crucial to Democratic victories. He also aims to counter Republican efforts to restrict voting rights, particularly in key battleground states. Harrison's success hinges on his ability to unify a diverse coalition of voters, counter Republican messaging, and navigate the challenges of misinformation and voter suppression. His leadership will be crucial in shaping the future of the Democratic Party. Section 10. A Legacy of Leadership, Shaping the Future of the Democratic Party. From its humble beginnings to its present-day prominence, the Democratic Party has been shaped by a long line of influential figures. These leaders, each with their own strengths and weaknesses, have left an undeniable mark on the party's identity, values, and strategies. From early architects like Van Buren and Bryan to modern-day strategists like Dean and Harrison, these figures have navigated changing political landscapes, adapted to new challenges, and sought to advance the party's core principles. They have been instrumental in shaping the party's message, mobilizing its base, and ultimately determining its electoral successes and failures. The legacy of these leaders is not merely historical. It continues to shape the Democratic Party's present and future. Their successes and failures offer valuable lessons for contemporary leaders as they grapple with the challenges of a rapidly evolving political environment. Section 11. Looking ahead, the DNC's evolving role in American politics. As the United States navigates a period of intense political polarization and rapid social change, the Democratic National Committee faces an uncertain future. The party must grapple with internal divisions, adapt to new technologies and communication strategies, and address the evolving concerns of the American electorate. The DNC's ability to connect with voters across geographic and ideological lines will be crucial to its success. It must balance the demands of its progressive base with the need to appeal to moderate and independent voters. The party must also confront the challenges of misinformation, voter suppression, and the influence of money in politics. The future of the Democratic Party, and indeed American democracy itself, will depend on the DNC's ability to adapt, innovate, and inspire.
Its success hinges on its capacity to engage and mobilize a diverse coalition of voters united by a shared vision for a more just and equitable society.